Snake oil. Snake oil. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to another Aimless Adventures vlog, that is, here on YouTube the Tube, coming to you from a very interesting location in California. This is what's commonly known as the old Soda Springs Mineral Springs location, but most folks know it by the name of the road, which is Zzyzx Road. And as we take a look around, and we will, we're going to be heading on down here and take a look at the old abandoned buildings that are still here. Most of them are still intact to a degree. And this place has got an interesting history indeed. If you could just go ahead and Google Curtis Springer, who was a radio talk show host out of Los Angeles, then moved his family here and started what we're about to see, the old Zzyzx Mineral Springs. As you can tell, I'm on the corner of Chubb Street and Boulevard of Dreams here at the Zzyzx Mineral Springs. We take a look around, and there's all kind of placards around here you can see off in the distance. This actually used to be, if I'm thinking correctly, that was the airport. This place actually had a runway, and I think it was called the Zyport. That almost sounds like a B horror movie. Very weird. Now, some of the actual watery goodness remains here, and I believe there's some type of chub fish that is in there that is considered endangered at this point, which is why Cal State University is here and they're watching over this place. It is free to get in, so feel free to cruise on down when you're on the I-15 heading towards Los Angeles. Just about 6 miles past Baker, take the Zzyzx exit, bust a left, come down about 6 miles, and you'll find this place just hanging out waiting for you. Now, back in the day, this is where the folks that would come here would stay. I believe some of these are currently inhabited by people even to this day. Some of the buildings are original. Some of them have been built since then. But one thing is for certain, folks are still showing up, and smiles are still abundant. Well, we made it down to the very end of the Boulevard of Dreams. As you can see, way down there is where we first started. We're at Sunrise Boulevard in the Boulevard of Dreams, and that's a really cool rocky outcrop right there. The old commode, apparently a trash shed. But check out these cool palms still hanging out. Now, back in the day, before this place even became Zzyzx, it was actually Soda Springs. It was a popular stop for Indians and other folk in looking for fresh water. Now, back in the day, Spanish explorers came through. Then the U.S. Army outpost, which was called Camp Soda Springs. After that, it was pretty much abandoned for a while. And then later in the 60s, you can see what popped up. Now let me back up just a little bit as you look at this majestic view. After the 1860s, you actually had miners who used to harvest the lake minerals. And as you look out here, looks like somebody's got some horseshoes going on. But out yonder, you've got all kind of borax, salt. You look across that dry lake bed right there. And they were harvesting the minerals from there and around here. Then a railroad, easy for me to say, actually came through here. Not sure where that's at. I haven't found any tracks yet, but we'll keep looking. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Mineral water or snake oil? Whoa. I don't know if you saw that. Not sure if I got the camera on in time. There was a gigantic raven or crow. Not sure which one's which. Came flying out of that tree up there. I think I just burned my retinal gland out. Staring at the sun. What is going on over here? That is one noisy duck. So, I had mentioned that actually in the 60s this place popped up. That's not true, because in 1944 is when Curtis Springer and his wife arrived. Again, he was a radio host over in LA, and some would say a quack. He decided that the mineral springs were a really good idea and a good location for a health resort. So he and his wife filed a mining claim. This place was 1,208, or 12,000, not 1,208, but 12,800 actual acres out here. And at the time, that was just public land. So he said, hey, how can I advertise and have people know that this place is semi-legit? Well, find a really weird name, make sure it shows up last in all the phone books, and go with it. And there's Zzyzx. Completely made up, completely interesting. So he said, why not call it Zzyzx Mineral Springs? And, wait for it, health resort. We'll get to that later. Something about these ducks and the word quack will come up. So along with that, he said, why not start a mineral springs, hot springs / health spa out here in the middle of nowhere. Now this dude, he actually made a fortune. Lots of moolah, which later were part of the reason that the feds came in and whacked him, but we'll get to that. He had all kind of alleged cures for ailments and such. And so over time, people started buying that up. He was shipping that stuff all over the world. Whoa. So anyway, he actually he ran a mission out in California, in Los Angeles, and he actually hired some of the Skid Row bums from around that area to help him build this stuff. Now, we're going to get to the abandoned stuff here real quick, as I know that's why a lot of you probably tuned in based off of the abandoned coolness. So after they got this place built, it actually grew to have a 60-room hotel, a church, a private airstrip, which is actually over there. We saw that. Or maybe we didn't. I'm not sure where I put it in the vlog. There's even a castle that was built along the street over there. We're going to try and go find it. Who wants to see abandoned stuff and a castle? Those ducks are going crazy. Are those grapes? I could go for some grapes. Pretty sure they're not. That is strange. Now I'm in the mood for grapes. If you think that's weird, you obviously haven't seen this yet. Makes total sense to have an old wooden ship in the middle of a salt lake that is no longer here. That's weird and awesome at the same time. Check this thing out. You got all kind of reinforcements going on up here. That's solid too. Got some sheet metal. Take a look-see at this thing. Not sure what that locking mechanism did. But one thing I did Notice over here, we can go around here. There's that bird. He's up there somewhere. Oh yeah. There he is. He's in that tree. Well, we're not going to get directly underneath it, so we don't have... We're going to get to it. We're going to the abandoned stuff. Chillax. Check this thing out. Looks like old power boxes that they use to prop up the seats. That's pretty cool. In this, I don't know if this is an old bilge pump for releasing water. Got some hose action going on there. Either way, now we got to go under this tree to get around this thing. And that bird is waiting to drop a goodness on us. All right, let's go check out some abandoned stuff. There he is. What's that, bird? You want a mineral spring bath? That can be arranged. You look at this place, and you can only imagine that back in the day, or even today, people are just tripping to get here. I almost literally tripped over that stick. Good thing is, I'm in a place of health with mineral baths. I can get healthy. Or can I? Because back in the 60s, when this place was popping in its heyday, senior citizens were coming from all over California way, Vegas way, coming right here. And when they were coming, they were bringing their billfold. And Mr. Springer was getting fatter than a Thanksgiving Day turkey. Let's go check out the now abandoned mineral ruins. And now, the good stuff. Abandoned good stuff. Check this place out. Got that old western feel with the boards coming through, almost like you was in Taos, New Mexico. But I'm pretty sure we're not. Where are we? I don't know. I'm stumped. Check it out. Old-timey roll-out windows. Very cool. And what appears to be an ice cream cooler of some kind. Weird. Wait a minute. Is that one of them old-timey machines that had a belt on it like it would drive something? If anybody knows what that thing is, post in the comments below. Pretty sure that's an old weight. Speaking of weight, I can't wait to find a way in here. This looks like a changing room. Sorry to bump the camera there. Maybe they hung hoses and stuff? Yeah. There we go. And the floaties. Very interesting. Just in case you didn't know, we're at the pool house. It's a family-friendly vlog. Well, I thought we were going to get to go into the ruins today, but it appears that the building's not stable. Wait a minute. I think that read the building is not a stable. What's a good thing we're not horses? It is a very good thing. Pretty sure it's not. It's not closed. It is not closed. Not closed. Not to us. Not today. Why am I whispering? There's literally no one around here. No one is home. Except for us. Ooh. Scrub-a-dub-dub. I wonder what's under that lid. What's under the lid? Could it be scorpions? Oh. It could be way too heavy. I don't know what's underneath there. But I really want to find out, I think. Yeah, pretty sure this is definitely not a stable. The roof must have been replaced because those look like beams that would come up. What's going on with the creepy rooms down here? Should we go that way? All who say yes, raise your right hand, even though this is my left. Okay. The adventurers win. What's behind door number 1, Chuck? A field of broken dreams. This place is weird. Door number 3. Door number 3. Showerhead. An old-timey light. Nothing. Wasps. Why'd it have to be wasps? Dang. This place is sketchy. What's behind this door? Whoa, wasps built a nest on that handle. Alright, I think it's time that we RUNNOFT and get on out of here. Let's go check out something else. But first, we must pause for a peck. That was dumb, but fun nonetheless. Well, let's take another look at what we bypassed earlier and check out the old exterior poolage. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Anybody know what these were used for? Pretty sure that was maybe you kind of made your way down in there and laid down. It looks like these would pump water in some facet. Check that out. That is super cool right there. Can you see that way off in the distance? That little pointed mountain, that's pretty cool. So this must have had all kind of windows going through there at one point. I wonder if it had a roof, because it's weird. It's like, why have windows with no roof? That wall does not look sound. And that building is not a stable. This was definitely one of the older spots here. You can see the all kind of weeds growing up over there. So there's still some kind of water coming through. It ain't coming from out there. See, maybe they still got some stuff bubbling on up. Let's go take a look around, see what else we can find. Over here, we've got a sketchy little building with the name of Sunrise on it. I don't think that's the name of the building. I think that's actually the street it's on. And by street, I mean there isn't one. Looks like we got some kind of well here.
Should I jump in?
No, you should not jump in the well. That would be a bad idea.
Okay,
That's a good idea, to take some of that in.
look at this.
Old West.
By the salt ocean.
That's right. It's not the Salton Sea, but it does involve some weirdness as well. Check out Salton Sea in the old Googler for more weirdness. Very strange location. Let's check this place out. This place is full on sketchy to the 13thpower.com. Yeah. Full blown. Oh, sketchy. This place has got some serious weirdness going on. Let's see what we got going on here. Mama? Wow! Hidden Mickey hat. It's a hat that looks like you could wear it at Disneyland. $15.99 with your name on it, $75. Wonder what's up with that. You see anything in there? Any dead rodents? Creepy. An old cot and oddly enough, over here, I saw that there actually, there were toilets all beat down and thrown around. The old school awning, there's a mirror right there. Sketchy mirror. Scorpions live in this. Wasp nest. Weird. Now, I'm no proctologist, but I'm pretty sure that thing right there is a horseshoe. That's science. Sketchy building from the past. Sketchy building. Soon won't last. Birds. On a windmill. It does not work. Weird. Well, against my better judgment, I decided to climb up a shady at best Rocky Mountain cliff to give you this view of goodness. There's the old Sunrise building right there. The sketchy one with the toilets. The salt flat. There's the old bathhouse. Definitely not a stable. Some of the newer buildings over here. There's a bell. You know what's going to happen. If we can, we will. We're coming for you. We're gonna find a way. There's a look inside what apparently is some type of museum here, but it's all closed up today. And I'm pretty sure that this would be, I don't know, maybe the main building? Not sure. But I do know that over here they have something that I noticed when I first came in. And anytime I see a bell, I need to find a way to ring it. So, since this is the end of the vlog, let's see. If we were to ring this, right, y'all, and no one heard it, would it have rung? Let's find out. Let's find out. Ready? Oh. That's not good. Do you see what I see? This is not a Christmas carol. But it is a wonderful life of adventure. Even if we tug on that baby as hard as we want, not going to happen because it's off the runner. Wah, 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 wah. Fear not. Mrs. Aimless Adventure and I are here to bid you farewell for now. Thanks for joining us on another Aimless Adventures vlog. Wish we could have rung the bell, but we didn't. Don't forget, check me out on the social networks. Amos Adventures, all one word. All here. This. There. Go there. To that. Apparently I can't speak anymore. Amos Adventures vlog on YouTube, the tube. And then go to openyourdoorandgoexplore.com. And don't forget, Spreadshirt, Amos Adventures Spreadshirt. AmosAdventures.spreadshirt.com, and you can get yourself some cool swag like that. There's actually a cooler design that's on there currently from my good friend Dano Flores. Go to the Dano channel and tell him I said hello. Go subscribe over there. He is a local Las Vegas artist who does amazing paintings. So if you want a hat painted, you want shoes painted, you want other stuff painted, the Dano channel. Go check him out, subscribe, tell him I said hello. And until the next time we see each other, oh, you know I got to. There's a perfectly good swing set. Oh, yeah. About to get it. Do not adjust your television sets. This is, in fact, a piece of chain link. That is the top of a fence. And I am an overweight 47-year-old dude. Looking sketchy. Hold on. Can we time our... We're semi-timed.
Here we go.
This is ridiculous.
I got it.
You got it?
We're even.
All right.
If I was in the next one, I could hold on to your chain. Spin you around. Oh, we got off.
We're getting off track.
There we go. I got it. I was swinging high.
I gotta go. See you guys. Love you. Bye. Time to exit, but we're not going this way. We're going to take the old airstrip. Well, thanks for stopping by my place. Hope you enjoyed the minerals and the bath. Don't forget, it's pronounced Zzyzx, the last word. Speaking of last word, I was framed. Snake oil. Snake oil. What was that? What was that? It just went under. What is it? Nessie? Is that you? Right over there, see it? That's a pile of feathers from a duck. And I think we found the perpetrator. The perpetrator is right through there. Right through there. Let's go find him. Shall we? Maybe. There he is. It's a little fox staring right at us. That noise always works. Yep, works with the cats.